How's it going?
Hey, it's going well.
Oh my god, they're sending this, huh?
I
Holy.
don't even have a chart up in front of me.
Are you in a runner?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. 6855.
yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna dial back the intro
Oh,
music here. So we are actually going live right now, I believe, but we can just chew the fat while a couple people join. Maybe that'll give us a second to make sure the
yeah, the sound's working.
sound is coming in. If anyone's in the stream, let us know if the sound is working. So yeah, what was that came across the wire? I was busy.
Yeah, so if you're in this failed breakdown right now, currently of the prior day low, you were rejoicing because this just took off. We're now at 6860 nearing. So it seemed like Trump made some comments about not using excessive force to take over Greenland and potentially opening up negotiations, and it
Soft
seemed like
power.
that just finally opened the floodgates and gave this failed breakdown momentum. But as you can see, the important thing here is you never need to pay attention to a look of news because the technicals and price action will tell you everything you need to know beforehand, right? So we had the 6823 failed breakdown trigger earlier this morning. It was a little choppy to start. I know, it's 7 a.m. Technically, we had a little bit of acceptance there. Then it kind of took another dip. Luckily, I just got in after 7:40, 7:45, and we kind of reclaimed 23 again. And I had a nice level to level move there, up till 28. And then, interestingly enough, I had to kind of manage this a little weird because, we kind of just got a one level move and then came back down. So at that point, just to protect the trade, I had to kind of get out of my 25% down to 10% runner. And then, I kind of added back the 25% later when we reclaimed 23 again, and then was able to sell it for the second trim. So a little bit of micromanaging there with the runner just to kind of
What what
protect
did
the
you
initial trade.
what did you do with that? Did you stop that out close to break even, or just take a few points when it started
Few,
fading back? So you were in here right
uh,
at 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, 8 o'clock your time, right?
yep. I cut it roughly. So I was just doing the math and just figuring out like how much I could give it before I didn't want to eat up too much of profit. So I ended up cutting it around like 19 or 18 or so.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So a few points below my entry. And then I just re-added it once
Hmm.
we, reclaimed 23 again. Cause kind of like we always say, right? Every time you keep magnetizing to that level, you keep getting there, it's kind of a good sign and kind of what you want to see. So, we kept magnetizing to 23. So I was like, okay, I'll add it back if price wants to keep sticking here. And then, on the second attempt there was able to get the second trim at the second level. So a little bit annoying in terms of just like micromanaging it. It's not my favorite thing to do to
Hmm.
micromanage the runners. I prefer when we can just get two levels straight up and it's just kind of easier to work that way. But obviously it's not always gonna be smooth sailing in terms of execution and things like that.
Yeah, and you've got to
So
protect
yeah.
capital and profits above everything else. So got to do what you got to do. I kind of tripped over
Yeah.
this one from my side, but the system kept me green in it. I just fumbled my execution. But having my stop below the lowest low by a few points saved me. I did have to chew through quite a bit of drawdown. I'll talk through it in the trade recap, but basically I got caught between. I was trading the initial bit of type 2 acceptance that we saw around here, but I was a little bit indecisive on my entry, so got in a bit higher than I should have. Then the first target at 28 was kind of too close for me, so I was looking to get to 32. That didn't miss. Ate all this drawdown, came back, ate more drawdown, and then whatever happened there kind of saved me. So I'll talk through that in detail a little bit later, but it'll be an example of kind of what not to do. And yeah, just getting caught, I suppose, between type 2 and type 3 acceptance. I wasn't really looking at type 3, but that's basically where I ended up entering, was in the danger zone there. But yeah, so poor execution, but that system, being on the right side of the market, buying dips, stop below the lowest low, definitely saved my bacon on that one. So plan moving forward for the day, for you and me, just holding runners. Think the
hopefully for most.
Yeah,
I'm hoping most. I mean, I know there were a couple of opportunities here to kind of take a stab at the 22 failed breakdown, and I know sometimes, because I'm sure we've all felt this, and so I think I can relate to it, which is, sometimes when you have a slow and choppy failed breakdown, sometimes your emotions and instinct can kind of just teeter and kind of waffle on it and kind of make you want to just get out, even though nothing really is invalidated. So like Adam says, right, sometimes for both major sells and also major momentum rallies, you do need a headline. And so sometimes things kind of just chop around and kind of stall, and then you get a headline like right now, and that kind of ends up giving you a huge push out of it. So I think, like we always say, you got to focus on the large sample size. And so over time, you really just want to run your process, take them, and just, let your kind of level to level algo just in place. Either, you stop out below the low, or you start taking profits above your entry.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I've been through the full gamut of emotions this morning. Right about this point, you're like, oh, should I cut it for break even after I've eaten 10 points of drawdown? And then here it still didn't hit because I was targeting 32. And then this is all in my morning routine with the kids and everything. So then same thing back here. Should I cut it again? Yeah, but I mean, I was able just to stick to the system and hold for a couple of trims and then whatever it was up there. So if you're not in a trade here at this point, it's a difficult spot. You can't really be chasing anything up here. I suppose keep an eye on Adam's tweets, but I don't know that there's going to be a huge amount helpful coming from there, other than job done, hold runners kind of situation. The major level above to look for a reclaim of was the 68.47, which we did get a small trigger of last night, played for a level to level move, and then before ultimately fading. But looks like there is still a lot of volatility around, so I mean, we've just had a insta sweep of that 47 level right here, so we might be getting some lively action today with random speeches and things coming across the wire, so just watch out for that.
Yeah, and if you've already potentially made some profits here this morning, size down, you know what I mean? And especially if volatility is a little too crazy, no need to keep risking full sizes if you're already have made some profits on the day.
Yeah, so the levels below, obviously we've had the 22 and that's paid now. We do have the new structure here down just above one of Adam's other levels at 68.13, so it's a little bit higher, maybe around 15, 16 mark. So if we do get more volatility, a flush and recovery of that level is certainly playable for a, I would call it a proper double dip. I mean, some might classify this as a double dip failed breakdown here, but it was, I don't know, I'd like to see a bit more of a dip personally on that, but that's semantics. So that's one level to look out for, and then the next levels below there are quite far down. I want to say it was 72 below that. Kind of had 79 marked out as you can direct bid that. That's a strong support, this red level here. he didn't call that out as a failed breakdown level. So yeah, that's not the type of trade I would typically take. And then beneath there was the 72 bonus. If we can flush that by 4 to 15 points ish, down to 58 to 68. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll need a big slice of volatility to get down to those ones. The main targets above, we've got a few targets on the way, but I think the big one was the 68.90, so that'll be interesting. Interesting back test for anyone who likes to play those games. So yeah, I think that's probably it. Anything else from your trade plan side that you can offer the folks out there?
Yeah, I mean, we can watch this new structure here. So we have this lows at 68.14 and kind of another one that we put in after a little bit just above it. So you can kind of watch that two shelf low 14.15 if we sell back down. Besides that, obviously we have the big macro low below us that I'm also watching. But at this point, it's going to be holding a runner until this failed breakdown gets invalidated or we put in a double dip at 68.14. So
What was the
until
macro
then, there's
low
not
you
much
were?
else to do.
What was the macro low you were looking at? Is that the 72?
Uh,
Wrong channel.
yep, 72. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. All right, same.
yeah. So
Okay, cool.
besides that, I don't mind if we we just want to run it up the rest of the day. I'm also okay with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. It was a relatively active day for me. 3 trades yesterday. Because
Yeah,
I did end up taking that evening trade after
I did
chewing
as
on it
well.
for a while, whether I wanted to endure the stress of it or not. But it did eventually decide to take it.
Yep.
But anyway, I got plenty of journaling to be doing, catching up on there, and then definitely I need to review my execution of this one, which yeah, I did record as well early on, so you'll be able to see my mistakes on that, and hopefully can learn from that. Um, yeah, big picture stuff. No big tech earnings I could see, but we do have WFR going on, these random speeches and tweets. But volatility, I think, remains relatively high in these conditions with all the geopolitics, tariffs, etc. going on. So, yep, volatility can spike at any moment. So, be safe out there, and we'll catch you guys in the Discord. All right, bye for
Alrighty,
now.
guys.